Hello.
Hello.
Braden Herrington here with Davie Portman for Up Next every Thursday, or now maybe Wednesdays.
Maybe Wednesday nights from now on.
On postwrestling.com and wherever you get your podcasts. We are your NXT friends.
Friends.
Yes, we watch NXT every week. So this week, it's kind of big for us.
Oh,
I don't know if you've heard, but this little show that is on the WWE Network, sometimes when it works, it's called NXT. And now, starting tonight with this debut episode of the season, NXT is on USA.
What started off with a whisper is now being screamed at the top of their lungs.
It started with a whisper. Yes, of course. Papa Trips had to show up in the beginning of the show.
It's a big deal today.
What a night.
I had the day off to all get prepared. I was getting psyched up for today.
We got a little bit of the bubbly.
We got a little bit of the bubbly.
Yep,
cheers.
Right. Yeah, cheers. Yeah, we did get some little bit of bubbly. We're celebrating NXT. We're celebrating ourselves as well.
It feels like a Saturday, I feel. It doesn't feel like a Wednesday.
That's because we had the day off.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, it's crazy. NXT on USA is a big deal for us because we have this podcast where we review NXT. It's a network show, and it's not like main roster stuff. Not a lot of people know what NXT is unless you're like a hardcore wrestling fan. So our show is pretty niche. I'd say it's very like, I don't want to say a little we have a little cult following with ourselves. And I feel like now it's just going to get even a little bit bigger. It's on cable TV in the States.
Well, yeah, we had a bit of fun this week on Twitter. So we've launched our new Twitter, which is upNXT Podcast.
Yeah, at upNXT Podcast. You can go follow our new Twitter. Help us out. Get our numbers back. We never had a Twitter for this show before, so we just launched it. So go help us out and follow it.
And a listener tweets us and goes, "Hey guys, just wanted to make you aware of this." And we saw this Twitter, and it was announcing the brand new show for our network, Up Next, where we cover NXT every week live from the USA.
Are out.
And we went, okay. And we did message the guys. They were super nice about it. They changed the name and everything. But I started to worry.
We're going to get copycats.
We're going to have to pay thousands of dollars and trademark all this. And we're poor millennials.
We're just two poor millennials who can't afford to sue people.
So that was a bit exciting.
Yes. So clearly, I mean, if you're going to start a podcast, because everyone someday wants to start a podcast, just make sure you look up the name of the podcast because it could be taken already.
Just Google it. Yeah. Quick Google.
Yeah. But the guys changed the podcast and we wish them the best.
All the best.
But we want you to continue listening to our Up Next. The real
the OGs.
Yes, the OG Up Next. And now, again, tonight was a special night for NXT, but it's a little bit of a special night for ourselves.
It was indeed. And we did announce that we'll be making an announcement today.
We announced an announcement.
Yes. And I think the cat's pretty much out of the bag. I think everyone knows what it is.
I think so.
We are launching a Patreon. Not only are we launching, we have actually launched a Patreon. So if you go to www.patreon.com/upnext,
yes,
you can look at everything we have to offer there, subscribe to us. We will talk in more detail about it at the end of the show. But once again, cheers to our Patreon.
Yes, cheers to our Patreon. A lot of listeners hit us up on Twitter. I'm at the Braden, and he is at Davie Portman. And they've been asking us, like, hey, actually, I like listening to your show. I'm really into NXT. I love listening. I want to support. When you guys going to launch? When you guys going to launch? I'm getting these messages from so many people. And honestly, I don't do this for money. I do it because I simply enjoy it. And I'm like, it's a good way to get things off my chest. I feel like it's therapy.
Yeah.
Doing a podcast. And so we decided, hey, if people want to help us create more content, then we're going to do it. So at the end of the show, we'll get into more details about that. If you want to stick around and listen, we got some cool stuff. But I feel like we should be getting into some NXT.
Let's get into the meat and gravy of the show.
See, we're used to doing a 1-hour show. Now it's 2 hours. So our shows are going to be a little longer each week. But let's start with the Wednesday, September 18th edition, live on the USA Network for the first hour. I say we get into this right away. Of course, it starts with Papa Triple H. Now, actually, I was getting a drink when you were... I was making you a coffee, to be honest, and then it started. So tell me exactly what Chip said.
He said, there are moments in life where everything changes with the blink of an eye.
It's true.
Tonight, don't blink.
Whoa.
Pretty cool opening.
I like Triple H.
He goes, tonight we will show you we're not just the future, we are the now. this was a huge promo, and I thought at first it was like a pre-recorded thing.
Yeah.
And then he says, "We are not your kind.
Whoa.
We are NXT." Pulls back the curtain to reveal Full Sail, and it is popping.
Yeah, Full Sail Live. They changed the setup here, actually.
Mm.
It looks like they could fit more people than usual, obviously. So they've kind of changed the layout and the setup there. Looks really cool. Looks really clean and fresh.
I think the mics were definitely on the crowd more than usual for tonight.
Yes.
I think obviously they were excited because it was the first live one on USA.
I would hope so.
But we've seen some really hot Full Sail crowds, and this just sounded louder.
See, I've been to Full Sail before, and it's really small, and it feels like when you were going for tapings, you'd be stuck there for 4 hours, so it could get really tired or be in a little bit of a lull. So now that it's like live every week, I think that it brings more of an excitement to this crowd. And tickets to Full Sail now are going to be a hot commodity, considering only a small amount of people, especially that WrestleMania is going to be in Tampa next year. I bet there's going to be some high demands for the NXT being in Full Sail down there. But Full Sail Live here, USA Network, starts with Triple H. Amazing promo. I did like the fact that it was like a live mic and he came out and pulled. It was like when the memes of him pulling the Evolve curtain. It was like a live version of that. He was like, Triple H, Papa here at NXT. We love him. But we start NXT hot off the presses, the first match, and I can't believe they started with it, and I was super excited for this.
Well, they also cut right from Triple H to just Mauro on his own.
Right.
And I thought it was really interesting how they went from Triple H, who is one of those guys, even non-wrestling fans or Laps fans, they know Triple H. He's recognized.
Yes, he is.
It went from him to Mauro Ronaldo, who obviously is a quite well-respected announcer, not just in the wrestling world, but in the boxing and the MMA world. Yeah. So he's quite a well-known face. So right away, you've seen that. And then it cuts to pretty much the hottest thing in NXT at the moment, the most interesting thing going, Io Shirai.
Ooh,
so
baby.
I felt it was drawing people in with a bit of familiarity. Yeah. And then it was, now there's this like awesome, dark-looking Japanese wrestler, women's wrestler, because women's wrestling is hot at the moment.
Yes, it is.
And with this awesome music, I thought it was a great opening to the show.
I honestly think women's wrestling and wrestling having more female fans is like super cool in this world of 2019. Like it's something that they can actually get behind. I was talking to a friend and I was explaining Io Shirai, and my friend's like, "Oh my god, I want to watch this. This sounds great." So I was like showing her gifs of Io Shirai, and she's like, "This chick's a badass." Like, you know, it definitely can bring in different people, and that's kind of what they want to do. But as you said, Io Shirai starts off my NXT. I'm just the biggest fan for Io Shirai. Shirai gets me high, and I can say that day in and day out. She's in her like Kill Bill kind of Akira inspired kind of stuff going on there. She looks badass as usual. Mauro Ronaldo calls her the Joshi Judas. And then says that she is, in fact, the greatest women's wrestler. I've been saying this on this show, that she is the greatest women's wrestler alive, Io Shirai, but he says it. So when Mauro says it, I believe it. Io Shirai, the next opponent in this match, it is a fatal four-way, Bianca Belair. Now, we saw her contend for the title, but now it's like her not a last chance, but another retribution here, because she's been on a bit of a roll week to week on NXT. But the next opponent, Mia Yim, the HBIC, she comes down. Now, she kind of had a little bit of a, I don't want to say lackluster match at Toronto TakeOver, but a lot of people weren't very high on it. It didn't really deliver, in my opinion. So this is kind of like retribution for her to kind of get that like that streak back, get the people behind her again. And then the fourth contender here, Candice LeRae. Now, she fought Io Shirai at TakeOver Toronto, and they had what I said was match of the night. And this match, I couldn't wait to get into this, and it was just crazy. The match starts off fatal four-way. The winner of this will face Shayna Baszler for the NXT Women's Championship. Starts off, there's a brawl between all four of them. Bianca Belair gets a military press on Candice LeRae like it's absolutely nothing. Then handsprings against the ropes and hits a moonsault. There's like a guillotine from Mia Yim, gets countered into a suplex. Io Shirai hits the 619, the Tiger Feint kick. She hits like a crazy height, like super high in the air. Shirai gets high herself. She hits a springboard drop kick. Candice hits this like nasty looking face buster on Io Shirai to like the apron to the outside. It looked crazy. But then Bianca hit a fallaway slam. And it's just like this match was nonstop. It was like complete action going because there's four of them. It should be this way. I was very happy that
it was a
like
great
this
match to start the show with as
Yeah.
well, because you could showcase a lot. The crowd were going to be hot for it because it's the number one contendership match. I'm glad they started with this rather than like some lesser known. They had to. They had to start
they
with
had
a bang.
something with a banger, and this did it for me. This delivered, and it continues to. There's a suicide dive from Mia Yim, and Mauro Ranallo says, "Tope suicida, mamma mia by Mia." Really funny. The genius of this guy, Io Shirai, with the most beautiful moonsault. It's like I don't know what's more beautiful, Io Shirai or her moonsault.
She gets lots of speed.
It's crazy.
It.
Yeah, like I literally think she might have the best moonsault. Like to the off the top to the outside onto everyone. It's just a thing of beauty. It's amazing. They cut to commercial, which we are not used to as much here in NXT land because the network just airs like WWE Shop.
Yeah.
And then it comes back. So now we had to watch commercials.
So it's like, oh, I'll go and get that coffee you are making.
Yeah,
me.
should I get a drink? Should I get my chips? Like, oh wow. To be completely honest, there was a commercial on vaping. Vaping is bad. Just remember that. Apparently. Vaping is bad. We come back from commercial, and there's a huge Tower of Doom spot where all the women just fall and crumble to the ground. Candice like power bombs everyone. It's a superplex Tower of Doom. It's cool. Mauro somehow mentions Lizzo, the singer. Don't know why. There's an octopus stretch, which looked amazing by Candice LeRae, but Mia Yim breaks it up, but then eats a spine buster. Io Shirai hits her butterfly backbreaker on Bianca, and we were watching this together, obviously, and you jumped out of your seat. You're like, whoa, that looked like it hurt.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Like she gets him, like with the fairy tale ending, the angel's wings, just holds him up forever before dropping. It looked nasty.
LeRae hits a snap German, and then she goes for a poison Rana on Bianca, but it's countered, and she gets flung face first into the corner. And then Mia Yim hits the code blue on Bianca for a 2 count. Bianca then gets up. She double spears 2 people. She then hits the KOD on Candice LeRae, but Mia Yim breaks it up. Hits the protect your neck on Bianca, I believe. But then Io Shirai gets involved. Again, it's just nonstop this match. She hits the Meteora, which is the running knees into the corner. But then she gets thrown to the outside. And Candice LeRae hits a poison Rana on Mia Yim, and then hits the lion salt, the springboard moonsault, and wins. Candice LeRae is the number 1 contender for the women's championship. A little bit of a shocker here.
I think a bit of a surprise.
Yeah.
Just a couple of things I really enjoyed in the match. I thought to start with, how is Mauro's voice going to hold up throughout this whole show? I know he's a pro, but you knew he was giving it extra tonight to really sell how hot this product is.
He's the best. He's actually the best commentator completely today, definitely.
And I think for people who are maybe tuning into this for the first time, sure, it's not a big arena, but the crowd was loud. Mauro was selling everything like it's the biggest deal in the world.
Yeah.
It would get me excited. And I had goosebumps so many times throughout the first part of this show because I was just thinking, wow, this is so exciting. And this is something we've been watching for so long.
It's like a big deal now.
And it
Everyone
really feels like they're selling themselves.
Yeah. I thought it was good. He's fantastic.
I love the double spear from Bianca. I thought that looked fantastic. The moment where Mia pushed Io off the top rope, so she went to the outside, but took out Bianca with a crossbody in the process, I thought was very cool.
And poison Ranas. Reverse Hurricane Ranas, spiking them on their head. That's a damn cool move.
Now, we talked a little bit, and I think this is actually good. Candice winning.
Yes.
This is a fresh feud. We haven't seen Candice versus Shayna yet.
Yes.
I think Candice takes it.
Okay.
And I think Io beats down Candice right after, setting up a title match.
Yes.
And I can see a double turn happening.
Yes. Ooh, a double turn. What, you think Io's going to go face?
I think Candice will snap on Io, beat her up with a kendo stick, retain the title, and it's because Io's like the hot thing right now.
I like evil Shirai. I like
too,
emo
but she
Shirai.
could do like the emo. She doesn't have to go back to being a fairy.
No one wants to see
an
emo. No one wants to see emo Shirai as a babyface.
I'm booking it.
Do you want it? Let me ask
Along
you.
with that Hell in a Cell between Gargano and never happens, but one day.
Io Shirai versus Candice LeRae is something I need to see very much again down the line with the title, and I think you're onto something, but maybe not so much a double turn, but you're definitely onto something.
And they announced it in 2 weeks' time.
Yes,
so we're not even waiting for a takeover.
Nope, not anymore. We have live TV now.
We have live TV.
2 hours to fill, and they gave these women time, and I'm very happy about that. But Candice LeRae walking back to the back. She's then confronted because Shayna Baszler's music hits, and Shayna Baszler comes out with the Horsewomen, Marina Shafir and Jessamine Duke, and they just they're like the hyenas in The Lion King. They're like, they're walking all circling her, and Shayna just like holds up the title. They do a face-to-face, and that kind of sets up.
I felt this was one of the moments you could tell it was live because I think they just stayed on this a bit too long because you go, okay, you're either gonna, if someone's in your face for that long, you're either gonna walk away.
I didn't want to see her get beat down.
I mean, it's a nitpick, but I think they just held it on a bit too long here.
We then get a shot, Undisputed Era backstage. They're preparing because tonight the first hour main event is the North American Championship, and Roddy is getting ready. He's being prepared. He's like taping his wrists, and they're all like, "You got this, you got this." It cuts to Velveteen Dream. He's backstage. Now, I don't know if you're a Chappelle Show fan like I am, but he's doing the Chappelle dressed as Prince, looking in the mirror, and it's like this whole like thing in the comedy sketch. I marked out for this. Fantastic work by Velveteen Dream. He's just getting ready with his puffy shirt, the Seinfeld puffy shirt, and all his mystical stuff. I can't wait. It's then announced that next week, Dominic Dijakovic. I still call him Don Dijak. Dijak versus Keith Lee. That's happening next week, and I can't wait. If you watched their last match, oh my goodness.
Yeah, they put together a cool little video package as well, which I think was very important on this show to get USA watchers, like new watchers, up to speed.
Right.
And I felt they did this a little bit more than they usually do.
Yeah, right after that, they showed a little clip of Matt Riddle versus Killian Dain promoting it because that's the main event on the second hour on the network. It's really confusing tonight because they had to commit to their Suits deal.
Yes.
The show Suits on networks, USA Network. So the first hour was on USA, and then you had to tune into the network, which didn't work. It took us half an hour, 28 minutes. Finally, the network, and we looked it up, and everyone was having.
Yeah, I mean, this is what was ridiculous. We live in Canada.
Yeah,
that obviously doesn't have USA.
No, we don't.
So put 2 and 2 together there and work out how maybe we're able to do this review right now.
Yes, exactly.
Didn't think we'd have. We thought we might have problems with that.
We thought we'd have issues trying to find the first hour.
Not logging onto the network that I use regularly.
That you pay for.
That I pay for with my wages.
Exactly. You thought like you're like I'm lit. It
took 30 minutes before. Yeah,
I counted 28 minutes, and finally we got to log back in. So that's why we were a little behind because we're like, they were so hot, and then
I just turned 30, and I feel like I'm getting to that like technically inept thing that happens to people. Had the issues with Evolve the other week. Now with this, it's
soon you're gonna be like, Braden, can you help me with the Wi-Fi password?
How do I unlock my phone?
You sound like my mom. Well, yeah, the network just had some issues, but we'll get there. Up next, still live on USA Network, however, Sean Maluda. You watch
from Evolve.
Yeah, from Evolve. Hey, and you're going to be doing a show this weekend on our feed.
Yes.
For Evolve. Look out for that show on our feed. I believe Walter versus Cassius Ohno is the main event on one of these
some
nights.
big matches.
And you're going to be covering these things with Jesse from the 666 this weekend. So look out for that on our very feed that you're listening to us right now. But Sean Maluda, who was also in the Cruiserweight Classic here in the WWE, he's coming out. And I literally said out loud, I said, who are they going to feed this guy to? And here comes the Babadook.
The Babadook.
Cameron Grimes comes out in his vest looking like Aladdin. Oh, that's ill-timed. And his hat, his top hat, his Rob Zombie looking hat. Yeah.
Well, we put out a little tweet, and then you noticed Cameron Grimes' display picture is the Babadook.
This is how crazy.
I want to know, was that his
you called him that.
DP before last week's show
or
after?
Called him that. Yeah, you called him that recently. So that's very funny because he looks like the Babadook.
He does.
Cameron Grimes never knew he was an icon. Cameron Grimes comes out. He's going to fight Sean Maluda. The bell rings to start this match. They run towards each other, and Cameron Grimes, out of nowhere, I shall say, hits his jumping, leaping stomp that crushes Sean Maluda, and just like that, Cameron Grimes wins.
I think we both missed it. I think we both looked up as he was landing.
I looked up, and he was like flying in midair, and his foot stomped the guy's chest down, and he pinned him.
Because it was funny, because I thought, interesting to re-debut Sean Maluda now. I wonder why that. Oh, okay, that's why.
I actually think this makes Cameron Grimes look.
This is what he needs to do.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
every match from now on,
And
until they're ready for an actual program. I
that
think this
stomp-
is great.
That stomp he does, and it's not like Seth Rollins like stomping the guy's head. It's the one that everyone's been stealing from him. And
Yeah.
you know what? He does it the best.
Oh,
Often
it looks
imitating,
incredible.
but like, he hits it really cool. This move looks good. This makes Cameron Grimes look like a star. Obviously, if you're just tuning in to USA and you see some guy with a top hat, you're like, yeah, who's this hairy dude? But then he like beats a guy in like 3 seconds, and you're like, oh, okay, this guy means business.
Yeah.
It's just a good way, classic way to get a guy over, and I think that's what they need for Cameron Grimes, because we've seen him in some matches, but he like is having a hard time. So this is like he's getting angry about it, and he lost in the breakout tournament, so he's like angry. He needs some retribution. We get a video package for Damian Priest, the Archer of NXT. Yeah, he's shooting arrows and I don't know, chilling with Jeremy Renner. I wonder if Damian Priest had the Jeremy Renner app.
Well, not anymore.
Yeah, rest in peace.
I still haven't deleted it.
Oh, I deleted it.
Oh,
I was taking up too much space. Jeremy Renner app. Look it up. Look up the story, the legend of the Jeremy Renner app. When you have some time on your hands, look that up. It's time to go to our main event of hour one. I know it's kind of confusing. Roderick Strong versus Velveteen Dream for the North American Championship. Will the prophecy be fulfilled? Mauro Ranallo with the call of the night, in my opinion, because I'm such a Prince fan. He says, "Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today for a thing called life." Love it, Mauro. You're the best. The match starts off here. Roderick Strong without Undisputed Era ringside. They start the match off, but there's a lot of like scuffling and a lot of like Velveteen Dream like blows kisses. What do you call mind games?
Mind games.
That's what they call this. And Roderick Strong's like a little mad. They finally go at it. Roddy with the classic drop down, leapfrog, jump over. But Dream again keeps taunting him. Dream hits some Macho Man style axe handles off the top, off everywhere. He's flying. Mauro makes another Prince joke. Roddy finally lifts Dream on the outside with a back suplex, throwing him into the barricade. Hits his wrecking ball drop kick. He came in like a wrecking ball. Then there's like a lot of like shoot style. I would describe Velveteen Dream very like old school, kind of meets new school in a weird way.
He's old school meets create a wrestler.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's like his base character. If you had to pick like high flyer, old school, grappler, submission.
Okay.
And then he's like, that guy does a stunner, so I'll do that. I'll do a Hulk Hogan leg drop.
But Dream is also like very good on it. With he's taken a character and made it his own, and so good, right, over the years. But he's definitely got this old school style.
It's the axe handle. The axe handle is always a old school move.
I guess so. There's a back lift, like a back breaker. It looks so painful from Roderick Strong. The what does he call himself? The Messiah of the backbreaker. He hits it there. He goes for like a pin using the ropes, but the ref sees it. He then hits a Uranagi into a backbreaker 4-2. He's going from like he's going for the stronghold, but Dream counters that into the sharpshooter, but it gets kicked out of the ring. It goes to commercial. It comes back, and Roddy's just chopping Dream up. He's chopping it up. There's a super kick from Dream for a 2. There's the Dream DT.
Dream DT.
The Dream DT, where you get the guy there and you twist and shout and you DDT and look really cool. Full Sail University is hot tonight down in Florida because the crowd is going crazy for these two at this point. There's a spot where Dream is attempting the DVD, the Dream Valley Driver, on the apron, and I'm like, dear Lord, please do not do this. And it's countered out of that. And then he gets cracked in the mouth, and then Roddy hits the V trigger. And I say that because that's what Mauro called it. And then goes V trigger, knee trigger, knee trigger, knee trigger. He then hits his forearm train. Roddy just keeps he does this in a bunch of his matches where he just keeps running back and forth and hitting you on the way. It's like really funny. Then hits a huge combo, backbreaker, tiger bomb, only a 2 count, but turns it into the stronghold. And me and you bit here because we thought this was going to end the match. We thought, wow, it looks like he's going to make Dream tap out. He has the stronghold here. Camp Strong, stronghold, but with great camera work, great acting, great selling from Velveteen Dream here because he made me believe that he was about to tap out.
And Full Sail did as well. Full Sail was so loud and biting so loud. And the longer this submission went, the more I thought he was going to tap.
And he was dragging him and repositioning him. Like, you're like, yo, you're not near the ropes. You're tapping. But Velveteen Dream, finally, the hero grabs the ropes. I thought this was great. But as he's grabbing the ropes, the break is the move is broken up. Undisputed Era. The Wolves come out to play. They come running down. They try to distract, but Roddy actually throws Velveteen Dream into the referee. Now he falls over. Roddy doesn't know what to do. Undisputed Era is there, like, should we attack Dream? We're not sure what we don't want to overstep our boundaries. But Dream pops up and hits the Dream Valley Driver. But this is where Undisputed come in and the numbers game, if you will. They beat up Velveteen Dream. Roddy picks up the corpse, hits the end of Heartache, the suplex throw.
It's my finisher on 2K.
Yeah, you have this as your guy's move. Sweet ass move and cool name from the song. End of Heartache on Velveteen Dream, but the Dream kicks out. The ref just comes to count it, but it's a 2 count. This was gnarly. This was nuts. I thought this was crazy. I bit again.
Yeah.
I love when they get me. But then there's another Dream Valley Driver, but he goes up top for his Macho Man, the Purple Rainmaker elbow drop. The ref's distracted from, I believe, Bobby Fish on the other side. Adam Cole up on the apron, super kicks the Dream. He falls down, crashes and burns. Roddy is there to pick up the pieces, hits the end of Heartache again. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the prophecy has come true.
1, 2, 3.
Oh my God. The Undisputed Era will be draped in gold. It has happened.
It's happened.
Woo! It feels like it's going to be written in stone. It's going to be in a big block somewhere. It's history.
On September the 18th,
yes,
2019, the prophecy came true.
It came true. The prophecy is fulfilled. Oh my goodness. It's crazy. Undisputed Era are super hot, and anyone who disagrees with you is wrong, because the camera there shows a sea of black and yellow and not NXT. It's Undisputed Era. They are the hot thing in wrestling. They got to be the cool guys, and they are just that. Roderick Strong, I've been following since Ring of Honor days for such a long time. Honestly, one of my favorite wrestlers. To finally have him have like a
His
cool
first
moment.
Singles
yeah,
title.
I'm just like, yeah, dude. Like, for the rest of your life, you did this. Like, you got.
And this was a fantastic match. Really that V trigger in the ropes, followed by the forearms going into that stronghold submission where we both bit, and then all the shenanigans at the end. And you think he's won it the first time round from the distraction, and he hasn't. Normally when that happens, you're like, oh, Dream's going to do it now. So watching it, I'm flipping back and forth who I think is going to take it.
Exactly. I love when they get
I thought this was great. I thought the first hour, if we take this as kind of one episode and tonight's a double bill, is more how I felt tonight was. Sure. I think it would entice people to come back.
Yeah, I think so. I think this was a really hot hour of wrestling. Even non-fans, if you're flipping through and you see like something cool going on, you'll stay for a while and it might get you, and you might not know what it is, but I could imagine stuff like that. And the characters here on just this first hour, from the 4 women in the first match to do these 2 characters, there's such drastic differences. Yeah. And you know they always say USA character.
And I think they were smart by just having 2 really hot matches and then the killer squash in the middle.
Yeah.
The crowd didn't have a chance to get tired.
Yeah.
And they would have sold this show for me tuning in, because it sounded something like, oh, you need to be there and watch this.
We've been doing NXT Up Next for like over a year now, and we've been doing NXT. It's only been an hour, and sometimes a match will be 20 minutes, a main event, and we're like, yeah, that's great. It's great that now, like, this 1 hour had basically 2 big matches.
Yeah.
And that's good. I like long, full. It feels like it has meat to it. It's got everything. It's got everything in it. I don't like rushed matches, and I felt like nothing here was. Everything felt
And in this first hour, there wasn't any, there was some video package, but there wasn't any other backstage nonsense or anything. It was presenting wrestling.
Yeah, they did a good job with this first, definitely this whole show, but this first hour too.
One little criticism, Bobby Fish. They were all ready to strike their pose with the boom on the stage. He was facing the back and kind of just turned around, and he missed it. Bobby Fish, your big live moment, you missed the boom.
You missed the boom. Maybe he's not used to the live aspect as much. No, you don't know. So that was the first hour live on USA, and then the network crashed.
Yeah, so we had a little half hour off, 28 minutes, you say?
Yep, it was wonderful. So that was that. We already kind of ranted about that, but 28 minutes later, the network worked for us, and we were back. And the second hour starts with Undisputed Era still on the apron, celebrating with all the gold, all the NXT championships, Undisputed Era, and Roddy's looking at the camera and he's like, dream over, dream over. I thought this was really cool. We get to finally have this moment. Undisputed Era is running NXT and it's just going to be chaos. I love it. I can't believe this actually happened. We were saying it may happen like they said that 2019 they'll be draped in gold. So we were like, yo,
it's gonna happen
New Year's
right
Eve
at the end.
New Year's Eve when the clock strikes midnight, they do it. That would be funny. But I'm happy for Roddy. He's the best. We then go to our next match. Pete Dunne.
Pete Dunne
from NXT
Break
UK.
your fingers.
The finger breaker, Pete Dunne. He comes out because he is here. He's in NXT from the UK. He's here now though, and he will be going one-on-one with Arturo Ruas.
Yeah, who we've liked when we've seen in NXT.
Yeah.
We've loved when we've seen in Evolve.
Yeah, he's become like a enhancement talent here in NXT, but every time he shows up, he's just fantastic. This guy is going to be a huge star in my opinion. I love it every time I've watched this guy. In fact, I need to see more
such
of
a
him.
different style, different look.
Also, this guy is legit this guy would kill you. I want to see him and Brock Lesnar in a shoot.
Yeah.
I think he would take Brock Lesnar. This guy is amazing. And Pete Dunne, awesome too. Also, Arturo Ruas, his theme song is pretty lit. I like it. Morrow says that he looks up to Marco Ruas, an MMA legend. Right. The match starts off here. Ruas goes for these flying scissors. He's going into an arm breaker. Pete Dunne counters an arm breaker into his own arm breaker. It's then a slugfest. Both guys are very hard hitting. I actually was into this totally. Pete Dunne does the kind of the Shayna Baszler move where he bends your elbow to the thing and then where your hand is down and then stomps on your elbow.
I think this was the nastiest I've ever
this
seen it
because disgusting.
Normally they will move their arm with the foot so it goes down. I'm flapping my arm like a chicken. The arm stayed up and you just saw the arm bend.
It looks so painful.
Looked gross.
I hope he's okay.
Awesome.
Yeah, it looked badass, but oh man, it looked like it hurt. Very painful. Stomping on the elbow. Just crazy. Jesus, it's just insane. He goes for it a second time, but Arturo gets out of it, ducks it. He hits a huge knee to the face and then a cartwheel into a kick. He basically has capoeira. I don't know if you ever played Tekken or Tekken Tag, I was obsessed. There's this guy named Eddie, and he did capoeira in the video game, and I'd always use him because you could find this move where you could go on your hands, and while on your hands, you could spin and kick people, and people couldn't break out of it. This is what Arturo needs to do. He needs to get the capoeira. And also, Nigel explains what capoeira was, and I actually didn't know this. Nigel McGuinness explains here, the more you know, knowledge is power. Nigel says that Brazilian slaves created capoeira because they were secretly practicing to escape.
Okay.
But they would do it in dance secretly. So when people look over, they're dancing, but it's secretly they're learning how to fuck you up. So I learned something here today, and I hope through Nigel McGuinness that you did too. So he's doing some capoeira, and it's fucking awesome. Pete Dunne starts working on the fingers of Arturo, but then Arturo counters and starts working on the fingers of Pete Dunne. So now he's stolen the gimmick of I'll break your fingers. But Pete gets out of that, starts going on the attack, and starts beating him up, starts kicking him. And get this. Now, you always say, Pete Dunne, I'll break your fingers.
Break fingers.
Arturo Ruas doesn't wear boots in his wrestling. Pete Dunne will now, I'll break your toes.
Break toes.
Because he starts breaking his toes. He's trying to crack the toes. I'm like, oh, man, you don't know where those toes have been. He hits the X-Plex for a 2 count. Pete Dunne then locks in a triangle. Ruas fights back, hits a beautiful bridging German, only a 2 count. There's jumping knees. There's more cartwheels. There's enziguris. Pete Dunne turns a falcon arrow into a triangle. Ruas counters that. There's a mounted triangle from Pete Dunne. And once he gets this arm triangle in, he then works on the fingers and starts breaking them and bending them and joint manipulation to a T. And Ruas taps out.
Yeah, he's then pushing the fingers just into his head. It's
jamming
disgusting.
Fingers. It's awful.
It's awesome.
I love this as a finish because it's so realistic. If someone starts bending back my fingers, it hurts. And no matter how big you are.
Did you ever play Mercy?
Exactly. Exactly.
It's that.
You ever play Mercy with a kid who is double jointed? It's cheating. One of my friends, you could bend his fingers all the way back. So he'd like hustle people. He'd be like, all right, Pokemon card for who
He'd
can
do
win.
that thing where he's doing the pain and then
Yeah, he would lie. He'd be like, trade whoever wins, Mercy gets a certain Pokemon card, and then he'd trick kids. It's evil. But Pete Dunne tricking Huas, breaking his fingers. He'd break your fingers. I thought this match was hard.
This match was great.
Crazy.
I was worried when I saw Arturo Ruas come out, because we saw what happened to Sean Maluda in hour 1, and I was like, they're bringing another Evolve guy, and I was really surprised how much they gave him in this match.
I love it.
I think he looks great. Their styles meshed so
very well
and interestingly together.
I'm telling you, this Huas guy, I need to see him fight. We saw him versus Matt Riddle in a very similar match, but he's just very good. He knows what he's good at, and he keeps getting better at other things. I'm telling you, this guy needs to fight some big dudes. He could scrap. He could shoot with the baddest dudes. I'm telling you, he just looks scary. Wouldn't fuck with
him versus like Dijakovic would be interesting.
Anyone,
Volta,
take my money.
Yeah,
crazy. We get a vignette for Dakota Kai, the captain of Team Kick, coming back soon from her injury. Maybe she'll fight Shayna Baszler soon. Remember?
Yeah, I think she's going to win the title.
The bully? Yeah. You don't like Dakota Kai. I know it deep down. I think you don't.
I don't like her?
Yeah.
I love Dakota Kai.
Oh, okay. You make fun of me when I was excited on my TV.
No.
Oh, you were like, I'm Dakota Kai. Oh.
I'm pretty sure I said in the last show that I wanted her to win the title.
I thought you were being sarcastic.
I thought she was going to be the transition.
I thought you were making a joke.
No, don't do that.
You don't joke? No, never. I don't read ahead. I can't. We go to our next match. Xia Li versus Aaliyah. Now it's Bourne and Bougie. Aaliyah is here with Vanessa Bourne. Do you know why Vanessa Bourne and Aaliyah are on the second hour? Because they're too hot for TV.
Too hot.
You can't have them on TV. Vanessa Bourne. Oh my goodness. This match starts off. Now this is actually a rematch from a few weeks back. I'm also a very big fan of Xia Li. Aaliyah, she's from the 6. I digress. Xia Li hits a handstand early on in the top turnbuckle. Looks really cool. She does like a roll through the ropes, hits a drop kick. There's like a bunch of series of kicks from Xia Li. This was kind of a squash match. I would say the only lull in the episode for me tonight was this.
Yeah.
But it was just like it was a squash. And essentially Xia Li stomps to get Aaliyah up and then hits what I just call the Robinson special.
She didn't get as many rotations as the Robinson special. It was just like a windmill kick.
Windmill kick, and Xia Li pins Aaliyah, which I like the outcome because I think Xia Li has potential to go very far.
And I don't think she's won a match on NXT yet. She's had good showings.
Yes,
but I'm pretty sure, unless no, she beat what's her name, Tainara.
But I like Xia Li kind of going forward here. I don't really have too much to say about Aaliyah and Vanessa Bourne. They're kind of in the position. They're kind of characters I'm not super interested in myself. We then go to our next matchup. They tell us that they're going to a quick commercial on the network, but when we come back, that Kushida is in action next. So instantly I'm like, okay, here we go. Great Scott. It comes back from commercial. We get an entrance from Denzel
Desjardins.
The insurance company.
It is. Yeah. The announcer said Desjardins, but the commentary said Dejanet.
Okay. Dragnet.
It reminded me of I went to this restaurant once, and this person I was working with at the time goes, "Chicken debonair? What's chicken debonair?" And asked the waiter, I fancy the chicken debonair, and she's like, "What the fuck are you talking about? the chicken debonair?" She means, "You mean the chicken deboned?" Oh, so it's just boneless chicken? Yeah.
Like a chicken fajita.
Chicken debonair sounds very nice.
Chicken fajita.
Anyway, I'm pretty sure this guy. You showed me WWE Shop all their new T-shirts.
Okay, can we take a second?
We're gonna sidebar digress.
Pause there. The new NXT section on WWEshop.com. Go take a look at this. They put up. Everyone has a shirt. Everyone.
But I was messaging you going, who is this guy?
Who's this? Who's this person? Well, most of them I am aware of, and I know who they are, but a lot of them have not debuted on TV or network yet. These shirts are so basic. I myself am not a graphic designer, but I could design better shirts than these. They basically took, it just says the guy's name. Like, it's like Bronson Reed. It's like Mia Yim. It's just the most basic. Like they look so basic. Like I'm telling you, I think I could create better things. Yeah, Bivens Enterprises is the one you were like, wait, who's that?
Who is that?
Yeah, they're a tag team.
The Outliers. Yeah. Dio Madden. Who's Dio Madden?
So like
Brendan Vink.
Like the shirts are just so basic. So
they got a boa one though.
And it's like they're expensive. We're here in Canada. The exchange of the dollar, US dollar. Ordering one of these shitty shirts would cost us $50.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
You know where you can get decent shirts from though? Where? Is prowrestlingtees.com/upNXT.
Yes, good sell. I'm not shitting on them having their own shirts because it must be some part of New Deal. Obviously, everyone needs a cut. But I think WWE should give bigger cuts to their superstars, in my opinion. They're the ones selling the shirts. I know a lot of the wrestlers that have these shirts are disappointed with the designs, but it's a step in the right direction, and I don't want to stop them from getting the bag. I don't want to stop them from making their living. But like realistically,
but a better shirt is gonna get you more sales.
Yeah, cooler stuff. Like work better. That's just kind of lazy. I find. Like, do better T-shirts. Look at Pro Wrestling Tees. Like I can create a shirt and have it up right now, and yet they're such a big company, and yet they're selling like crap.
You look at what they do with video packages. The people working on that just incredible. The worst pay-per-view will have an incredible hype package that makes you hyped for the most boring of matches. Yet surely they can have people as creative as that to make just decent T-shirts. Anyway,
going back to NXT. So Denzel Desjarnais does not have a shirt. I checked. He does not. However, he looks like kind of like a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air vibe going on. He's got like some like spray painted kind of tights or things. He's got a cool look going on. So we obviously think he will be the guy taking on Kushida because we were just told Kushida was in action. But instead, Imperium enter the ringside from not the entrance ramp, but the side. Now, if you're not familiar with Imperium, this is Fabian Eichner, Alexander Wolf, and
Marcel Bartel.
Marcel
Bartel.
These three, they come down to the ring. They come into the ring, and they then attack this Denzel. Alexander Wolf hits him with a German suplex. Then the other two hit a European uppercut powerbomb combo. They clear the ring of Denzel, and then they stand in their pose with their hands behind their back, the ring camp pose. And Full Sail knows who's coming because they are chanting his name. And here he comes, the WWE NXT UK World Champion, Volta. Oh, boy. I love this guy.
Yeah.
He's a scary looking dude. He comes out. He comes down to the ring. He looks like a true star, in my opinion. He comes out. He grabs a microphone. He says, "We are Imperium, and to us, the mat is sacred."
And someone from the crowd yells, "Sacred!"
Full Sail, never change. He continues on saying that Imperium here will represent honor and bring back honor and tradition into this industry, into this business. And those that disrespect us will fall to, and I had to ask you for a translation here because you traveled Germany. You can maybe speak a little bit of German, but he instantly changed his tone of voice to the Ring General. That's not good German, but literally I could not. I was like,
"You're like the what?" It's like the Ring General.
I was like, "Oh, General,
Ring General."
Right? Yeah. I like his Ring General.
That wasn't even known German. It's just he said it Germanly, Austrianly.
Sorry. Yeah. Sorry, not even. Yeah. Exactly.
The language is German.
Yes, exactly. So he says that, but get this: as he says Ring General, some music hits, and it's Kushida. Oh boy, Kushida comes out in his Back to the Future life preserver. He has a microphone. Now, we haven't heard much of him on the mic, to be honest. He says, "This is my time, and now your time belongs to me." He rushes the ring. Yep. What a warrior. What a brave babyface here. He runs in, and Imperium, of course, attack him, but he's knocking off these guys. He's kicking them left and right. He finally gets into the ring, and Walter throws him in. And Walter, it's like a scary movie or like a...
Well, he gets him in his choke finish he gets him with to drag him over into the ring.
And then he's about to lift him up and who knows what to Kushida. But Kushida, like Back to the Future somehow, slips out of his Back to the Future orange vest and then thus freeing himself from the clutches of the monster Walter, and then starts to attack Walter and gets a good kick in there to the head like an enziguri, but then Imperium get back up and they chase him, so he retreats. He backsteps. He realizes, yo, there's 4 of them. I can't just take on these guys. So he kind of cools off, and then there's this weird like Kushida Walter kind of thing going on, and oh my god, I am here for it. I love this. This was not what I was expecting tonight.
I think everyone's been saying, like, what is next for Kushida? What's his first proper program?
Yeah.
He kind of had a mini feud with Gulak and has been working his way through different rosters. But yeah, this is his biggest match to date. And it looks like it will be on NXT TV, which is awesome.
This is so cool. So I'm a big fan of Walter. I definitely love Walter. And of course, I love Kushida. So I can't wait to see where this goes. I actually really like this whole thing. And it shines a light on NXT UK.
It does, which I thought was clever.
Like, say what you will about them, and they do some things that are just not the right, like, not a good way to get people's attention.
Gallus.
Yeah. But this was a good. This was a positive.
I think this was. We'll be going to the next match, which is a cruiserweight #1 contendership. Triple H has had those conference calls recently, and he's been saying about kind of bringing everything a bit under one roof. NXT UK will still be its thing, but more back and forth between the brands, which I think is great for NXT 205 and NXT UK.
So the cruiserweight title will now be everywhere. Essentially, it sounds like.
Well, they need to sell their network as well as it be on USA.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a good thing it will maybe get numbers up a bit for NXT UK and 205.
Yeah, well, 205 might be integrated.
It will probably be integrated, yes.
Well, here's a reason why we think that. Because the next match is a #1 contenders match for the Cruiserweight Championship. But get this. It's Oney Lorcan, who I love, Oney Lorcan.
Yeah.
He's
the best person on Twitter. I'm spoiling it now.
Yeah.
He is winning my Twitter of the Year at the end of year awards.
I think
he's fantastic.
I might be on the same page. And he tweets about his dad, and it's all in capitals. He yells. Oney Lorcan will be taking on a returning Lio Rush, the man of the hour. It's like him and Kushida just are obsessed with time. He's the man of the hour. Kushida's the time splitter. They should get together. They should become 10. Oney Lorcan, Lio Rush, #1 contenders match. Morrow mentions Lio Rush took a step back from the spotlight. He was in the main roster on Raw, but he took a step back to focus on himself. And Morrow says, as a mental health advocate, he respects that about Lio Rush. So
yeah, it was really nice. Morrow got this line out there, I think, because I mean we've seen it with Cass as well recently.
Sure,
people it's hard. It's a hard world to live in, and especially in the spotlight like these guys.
Couldn't imagine.
And I think Twitter is very easy to hop on someone like Lio Rush and just insult and be like, whatever. I mean, there were loads of talk of arrogance and attitude and that kind of thing. But
I'm happy
at the end of the day, it's someone trying to get by in the world. And
this kid trying to make a name for himself.
Exactly.
I saw this kid at Smash Wrestling one time, and I was like, damn, this dude's small.
He's special.
And then he wrestled, and I was like, this dude's like a flash of lightning. And then I literally was like, wow, this guy's gonna be something. It wasn't even like a week later. WWE signs Lio Rush. I was like, what? Dude was on the indies for like a minute and he got signed. So there's definitely something there. And I'm happy to see this guy back.
Me too.
Oney Lorcan, Lio Rush. The bell rings. And let me tell you, Oney Lorcan wrestles like he tweets.
Yeah.
Because he is on fire. It's like everything's on capitals. He's running. He runs off European uppercut to start. He hits a running blockbuster. Rush, though, only a 2 count. Rush is like, yeah, you want to go toe for toe? Well, I'm fast too.
He's got that real Ultimate Warrior, just like crazy psycho energy to start.
Oney?
Oney. Yeah. I mean, a million times better, but you know what I mean? That just initial fucking energy.
Wow, you're going to get mad that you said Oney Lorcan's better than the Ultimate Warrior, but I do respect that. Oney Lorcan then gets what he asked for because Rush starts fighting back, sends Oney to the outside, and get this, Rush with 3 suicide dives in a row, and each one more faster, more hard-hitting than the last.
Shooting like a dart.
He literally flies through like it's just crazy. He throws Oney back in the ring. He's crazy fast with the kicks, kung fu with the kicks. Oney then fights back, and he is an uppercutting machine. Like you said, this guy is like monster. He's got this like weird body type, but man, he's
There's
machine.
Similarities to Cesaro, but he's
100%.
He's got longer limbs, like a. Yeah, he's lanky.
Yeah.
He's lanky. Yeah.
Well, this lanky dude picks up Lio Rush in a gut wrench and hits a high angle power bomb, a gut wrench power bomb, like a Dr. Wiley bomb or whatever you kind of call it. just wild, but only a 2 count. They mentioned that he was trained by Lance Storm, and as they do, he locks in the Canadian Maple Leaf, the single leg crab here, and it looks great. He then hits like a scoop slam, power slam, which is just a basic move, but Oney Lorcan puts so much like torque and speed into it.
Yeah.
It looks so much cooler. It looked really great. There's this move where he goes to throw Rush out of the ring, but Lio Rush bounces as he's flying through the ropes to go to the outside. Somehow, he must be, there's smoke and mirrors here or something. Lio Rush slides through the second rope, bounces with his feet on the bottom first rope, then springboards him back into the ring, allowing himself to deliver a flying backwards springboard stunner to Oney Lorcan.
This looked amazing, and I think should have been the finish.
I think this move is insane. Like, you ever seen John Cena do that springboard shitty stunner?
He did a springboard off the second rope. This was a springboard off the bottom rope on your back.
I don't know how.
And also,
describing it is giving me a brain malfunction.
Lio Rush isn't a tall guy,
No.
and we've just said Oney Lorcan's lanky. He's pretty tall.
Yeah.
And you managed to bounce off your back, the bottom rope up high enough to grab for a stunner.
Crazy.
Awesome.
Looks so amazing. But Oney Lorcan kicks out, and yeah, we thought this was over, but it was not. Only a 2 count. He goes up top to hit his frog splash finish, but Oney gets to his feet, so Rush lands on his feet, but he lands on his foot awkward, and he's like, oh, my leg, and he's selling it really great, and it's really awesome, which then Oney then targets this, but he hits him with a huge power bomb. Literally splat was the sound it made when he powerbombed Lio Rush to the mat. He then locks in a single leg and locks in an STF. Now, I just compared a move to a John Cena move. You ever seen John Cena do the STF? Not good. It's not even a move. It's just like sitting on a guy, chilling with his arms around you. This is the STF.
This is more like Nikki Bella's STF. Nikki Bella had a good STF.
Can't believe you just said Nikki. There's no other guy.
Oney Lorcan is Ultimate Warrior meets Cesaro meets Nikki Bella, and he is the GOAT.
Lio Rush doesn't tap out, but he finally fights and gets to the ropes. Lio Rush gets to the ropes. Oney Lorcan then does this thing. He gets his hand out, and he's teasing that he's going to slap the shit out of Lio Rush. And Mauro Ranallo makes a red right hand mention. The Nick Cave, The Bad Seeds, good song, Scream soundtrack. He then tells the crowd to shh with his hand. He goes to slap. Rush ducks it, hits his own series of lightning fast, Mongolian chops to the front here. Then he goes to hit his own series of things, but Oney finally gets the slap. He grabs Lio Rush by the back of the head and just wallops him, just slaps him. I challenge you to a duel.
His face was what I imagine it to be when he tweets as well. He was just shaking.
Oney hulks up,
bulging,
hulks up
like that Undertaker streak guy. Like
this was like Ishii.
Yeah,
this was like Hulk Hogan. Oney Lorcan hulking up, slapping the ever-loving hell out of Lio Rush. He goes for the blockbuster, but it is countered into a Spanish fly by Lio Rush. He hops up to the turnbuckle, up to the top, hits the split leg frog splash he now calls the Dragon's Call.
It used to be called the Final Hour.
The Final Hour. Okay,
yeah.
Well, now he's calling it the Dragon's Call, the split leg frog splash. Lio Rush wins and is the #1 contender to the Cruiserweight title. What a match.
I imagine they've changed the name. I don't think they'll be going with the Man of the Hour anymore. I think this is a babyface Lio Rush. We're going to see a redemption story, going for the title, be a bit more humbled.
Yeah.
And I think that's why they've probably changed this to the Dragon's Call.
No, yeah. I thought this match was a cracker, as you call it. I think this was so much fun. This whole episode is crazy.
That first minute of the match was just so high-paced and exciting.
I hate rest holds in wrestling, and this was not that. Yeah, there was submissions, but it was part of
everything
the storytelling.
Meant something.
Yeah, everything was meaningful here.
The selling, Lio Rush's selling of the knee, it looked real. He did the first Dragon's Call attempt where Oney Lorcan moves out the way, so he lands on his leg and kind of jarred it, like jammed his leg in the mat, and then there was something into a dragon screw later before the half Boston Crab was applied. And just the selling of the knee, I thought was fantastic from Rush. He isn't just flips and shit.
No, he knows what he's doing. He's even a good actor. I was just praising Velveteen Dream, but Lio Rush here too. Very, very good. And Oni Lorcan, man, I love anyone in wrestling when they hype up and they get mad and they rage, man. He's a beast. What is he? The Boston Butcher?
Yeah.
Oni Lorcan, Biff Busick, man. What a beast. Oni rules. Oni rules. Yeah, Leo Rush too, though. Let's go to our main event.
Yes, let's.
It's time for a street fight.
Oh, yeah.
Matt Riddle, bro, versus Killian Dain, not wearing a Tool shirt.
No, not today.
He probably was told, hey, man, you can't be wearing the Tool shirt. They already got the #1 album. They beat Tay Swift. Don't worry about it. Don't wear the Tool shirt because he always wears the Tool shirt. Matt Riddle versus Killian Dain, street fight. They've been having some beef lately, so this is all coming to an end. It's the climax of this feud, or so we think. Killian Dain attacks Matt Riddle instantly as the bell rings. He goes there, but Riddle fights back and instantly hits him with a deadlift German suplex, picks Killian Dain up, and then hits him with an exploder suplex. And Killian Dain is a big boy. So this looked crazy. They're fighting. They get to the outside. There's a kendo stick. He ducks the kendo stick. At some point, the kendo stick goes flying into the crowd, and a lady catches it. And Killian Dain is beating on Matt Riddle, and then goes over and is like, "Give me that," and doesn't even ask, just takes it from this person, and then starts hitting Matt Riddle with it. Then hits his senton, and now they're fighting on actual cement, actual floor here. This is not a gimmicked floor, and they're fighting now backstage. I feel like I was playing Here Comes the Pain.
It felt like 2K, Here Comes Pain, No Mercy. You're going backstage.
Rolling through the back.
You have the Forgotten Sons who are
they're making coffee.
Stood
catering.
they're just ready. You can go over and press X and chat to them about nothing if you want. Can pick up a chair. It felt like that.
It felt like the
really
video
did.
game. It did. So they're fighting in the back. Forgotten Sons in full gear. It cuts now. Killian Dain picks up Matt Riddle. They're fighting now in the back near Full Sail. Now, Full Sail has this weird West Side Story back thing that's the part of the university, but that's where the NXT trucks park. So there's this big NXT truck, and Killian Dain picks up Matt Riddle and lawn darts him into the back of the truck. Now, do you know when this once happened in Florida, when a wrestler threw another wrestler into a truck like that? The police were called. When Kevin Nash threw Rey Mysterio, someone saw this and said, I need to call the cops.
Well, also, I saw the parking lot and just went,
oh no!
Shit.
Because everyone knows the NXT parking lot, Full Sail University, your parking lot is the most dangerous place in the world.
On Earth.
It's the most dangerous place. And now the match is happening there. Oh my goodness. But get this. They continue to fight and brawl in the backstage area here. And we see a table. And there's some people eating some food, drinking some drinks, drinking some water, staying hydrated. One of the people sitting there is Walter, the guy we just saw earlier. He's just hanging out.
It felt like they should have all been smoking cigars and playing. They've just broken up their blackjack game. Or something. No, yeah.
So they're there and they get shoved. The table kind of gets their meal gets interrupted essentially because Killian Dain is throwing Matt Riddle in there. And guess what happens? Well, Walter attacks Matt Riddle, and then Imperium gets involved. But get this, the Street Profits show up, and they start brawling. Every other NXT superstar that was not on this card is all of a sudden in this giant brawl. Everyone is fighting. Everyone's wilding out. It is insanity. It's chaos. It's eventually dragged back into the Full Sail arena there, into the ring, and yet everyone follows. You guys aren't in this match. Get the fuck out of here. So it's just chaos. It's just a brawl. It ends with Killian Dain doing a huge suicide dive onto everyone on the outside, and it continues fighting. And I believe the last shot you see is of Jackson Riker just standing there what the fuck am I supposed to be doing right now? And that is how NXT ends tonight. A very controversial ending, in my opinion.
I think it was a strange ending. I think what they were going for is to try and get everyone seen and on the show.
Yeah.
But this wasn't the USA segment. If this was on USA, I kind of would have got it. But I got the impression of almost a soft reboot. This is our cast.
Yeah.
We're from this, we can break into loads of new feuds and fresh combinations and stuff.
I agree. It was, I would say the ending, because you had that first hour treated like it was a separate show almost. So I liked it too. I don't have it wasn't. I like wrestling because of the matches and I like clear winners, but this was fine. Are we going to continue the avenue of Riddle, Killian Dain? Because obviously things aren't resolved. But now something that's introduced in my mind is Walter just wants to fight everyone.
Yeah.
They're literally teasing Walter versus Riddle, Walter versus Kushida. Like, guys, you're just teasing me.
And to be honest, I liked this. Obviously, it was we had the network go down. We had that break. You had to swap from USA to the network. I sort of dug this kind of 2-show thing.
Mhm.
And if you move forward and have like the North American picture finish hour 1 and then like tag titles or something else finish hour 2 and keep that kind of rotation going, I think it makes the show just that it flew by tonight. I thought
this show flew by, and we are used to watching a 1-hour show, and sometimes it doesn't fly by. But I will continue to say that NXT is my favorite wrestling show to watch. I wouldn't do this show if I didn't think that. But now in a 2-hour slot, I feel like they're going to be just fine.
I had
they're
goosebumps so many times tonight.
Yeah,
it was like, this feels such an exciting product.
It's very cool.
They've moved to the big leagues.
Look,
they've got their t-shirts.
We're like I'm in my late 20s. You just turned 30.
Oh.
But this is the show geared towards us.
It's
not this like variety show that WWE is, like the circus almost. It's geared specifically for people like us.
We know you like wrestling. We know what you like.
We know you're not stupid. What's the tagline in their new commercials? No BS.
Well, that's where I think when
Little
so many
BS.
people say once Vince moves on, that's a polite way of saying it, WWE will be so much better. This is WWE.
Yeah.
There is an audience for Raw and SmackDown. I mean, I believe this week was pretty good. It was a step in the right direction. But WWE present you with everything. NXT, this is their indie show. This is their show
This is their bola.
that your internet fans like.
Smart fans.
Your smart fans like. That doesn't mean they can't produce something for another audience on Monday nights or Friday nights.
It's genius. Now they own their own competition.
They're their own competition.
Yeah.
And I'm glad from week 1, USA,
It
still feels like the show we know and love.
Yes.
And just got a shot of adrenaline.
Yeah, it did. It's like it evolved.
It evolved.
Everything evolves, and it really did. I really am so proud of everyone involved. You guys nailed it. Triple H, Papa Trips, man. You're killing it. It's amazing. I was scared when they said 2 hours. Don't ruin my NXT. But I will safe to say on my side of the fence here, I'm saying in the Wednesday Night Wars, I'm picking NXT.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Yeah, definitely. You know what, though? There was no Ciampa tonight. He was there.
He was there.
But he didn't show up. Is he going to show up sometime?
I hope so.
Yeah.
There was a new video posted of him.
I saw.
I'm going to go before feedback. I'm just going to head over to the YouTube because this is live.
Yes, by the way, we did this show because it was the first episode of NXT on the USA. We decided to go live on our YouTube. What's our YouTube channel?
BDE Official.
Go follow us on our YouTube. Go follow us on our Twitter at upNXT Podcast. But read what some people in the chat here are saying, people.
Yeah, so we have Dark Star who is saying WWE is playing up to being the first NXT star to step in, playing up that the Io Shirai being the first WWE star on USA for NXT is a big deal.
Yes.
They're really bigging that up on social media, apparently.
Yeah.
WH says hi. Jake thought that Triple H intro was lit. And Eric Marcotte, who is our first patron of upNXT.
What's Eric?
Eric's in the room. Thank you so much, Eric. He wants to know how much does he have to pay for the butterscotch story, which is a story I hint at in episode 0 on the Patreon.
Ooh, yes. If you subscribe to our Patreon, you instantly get episode 0 of our Patreon shows. And I don't want to toot my own horn here, but I shoot from the hip.
Yeah.
It was only me and you in the room when we clicked record. And the only way to hear this audio is by joining our Patreon.
We didn't really know where we were going, and I think you got a lot off your chest.
I think I said some controversial things, and I might be arrested.
But it was fun. Anyway, we'll talk a bit more about that in a sec. But thank you to everyone joining us live in the room. We'd love to do more of these. But let's head over to the post-wrestling forum.
Yes, forum.postwrestling.com. Every Wednesday night when NXT is airing, we post up this thread. You can go, you can sign up, it's free, and you can write any comments or questions, and we'll read it here every week at the end of the show. So tonight, let's start with Eva from London. As we know, the Shayna super fan. Eva starts by saying, stellar show tonight, kick-ass opening package, and a kick-ass opening match. All 4 women brought their A game. I don't think Candice has faced Shayna on TV since their quarterfinal match in the Mae Young Classic. It may not be Rhea Ripley, but it's a fresh opponent, a babyface one, and as we saw in Toronto, Candice is a phenomenal wrestler. Can't wait for LeRae versus Baszler on the head-to-head episode. Top that, AEW. Spoiler, they won't. I'm going to skip through. They have some questions. Who do you see winning the women's title match in 2 weeks? Do you think Candice will take it?
I said I think a Candice win,
Yes.
building to a match, and then a double turn.
I think Candice deserves to win it. I know Eva here is the huge Shayna, is the biggest Shayna Baszler fan in the world. Eva from London. Second question, how long do you see the prophecy remaining fulfilled? All the way.
Yeah, I think it's got to go a while now.
Could you do War Games title, all the titles on the line?
Well, it wouldn't be War Games without Undisputed Era in that cage.
That's their game. And number 3, seeming random, but opinions on Dave Meltzer and Brian Alvarez on their coverage of NXT and AEW the past weeks. Sorry, no, I have not. I don't really follow. I only know when he rates matches, and I like when he rates them because I like rating matches. Thanks, Eva from London. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We go to Chris Thunder from Down Under. First hour feedback. I have no idea what happened as we can't watch the first hour here in Australia for 24 hours. Chris, the first hour was very nice, and there are ways.
Chris, have you ever heard of this website? It's called Google.
Second hour feedback. I can't believe I've been championing for a faction to be draped in gold since Sanity, and the time it actually happens, I can't watch it.
Oh.
Not because I cancelled the network or because I was at work, but because I have to wait 24 hours to view it. Okay, yeah. Chris, we get it. Honestly, the whole second hour might have well been called the Job Squad hour. Squash matches, heels with no heat, and a main event no contest. Well, I assume no contest, but the bell never rung to stop the match. All things considered, this show hardly lived up to the hype or their lack of. 4 rushed Microsoft Paint t-shirt jobs out of 10 piece. Oh, I thoroughly enjoyed the whole show.
The second hour has got heat from Chris from Down Under here.
I do agree, though. Isn't that the second or third time this has been a no contest?
Yeah, no contest.
The match that will never happen.
Yeah, we go to Wrestling Graham. He starts off by saying, "We are not your kind." I was totally prepared to jump ship to AEW, but this episode of NXT was sensory overload, out-of-body experience, and inconceivable greatness. Suck on that, Con. My body was all ready for NXT. Better than sex. What woman from any company in any era would have to join Undisputed Era to complete the prophecy?
Isn't Tainara Conchi already part of it?
But she doesn't really fit that, does she? Hey, why don't you get Marina Shafir, Roddy's wife, in Undisputed Era?
She's terrible.
No, I mean she's better than Jasmine. I don't really know, and I don't think we need to. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I don't think they need it. I think that can be a separate entity altogether. I mean, unless Britt Baker,
Deonna Purrazzo to piss off.
No, I don't think so.
We go to Tyler from Orlando. This was a hell of a way to start off the new era for NXT. I thought the women's four-way was the best possible choice to open up the show. Dream and Strong did what we knew they are capable of, and I finally had the prophecy come true.
Ooh.
I think the involvement of the NXT UK guys and a number one contendership match for the Cruiserweight title is a clear sign that Triple H is going to use all of his toys for these 2 hours each week.
Yeah, remember when Cody did the Throne Breaker? Triple H was like, all right, I see you, fam. I see you. You want to play? You want to play? Get this. And he hits you with everything. He's going to hit the big guns. I think every week Triple H is going to be like, take that.
I want Triple H to introduce it every week.
It started with a whisper.
We go to...
Why
do you want to kill me?
Triple H should be better.
Harvey Dent. Here we twisted.
Mystery. The women's fatal four-way was great. Not too thrilled about Candice winning, despite actually having no claim to the title match, but whatever. I imagine she'll beat Shayna and lose the title to Io, or at least I hope so. In the meantime, I have Io kill Mia Yim for costing her the shot. Ooh, yeah, good call. I would like to see that. The Undisputed Era are cheating assholes.
That they are.
Yeah, what about it? They continue. The second hour is super hot, including the ending when it devolved into an NXT World War. Except in the Full Sail parking lot instead. I mean, hey, we said it. Like,
it's dangerous. It's dangerous out there, guys.
It's scary. As an aside, I really liked how Triple H's little segment at the start led into Io's entrance. He brought in the casual eyes, and Io's entrance got them locked to the screen.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We go to Harry from Houston. Holy shit, what a show. The ending was fine, but this Riddle versus Dain feud has been weird, and it hasn't really progressed beyond two dudes fighting each other. Everything else landed pretty much perfectly.
Mhm.
I also loved how they didn't even use their absolute top stars outside of Dream in actual matches, and it was still the quickest 2 hours of wrestling TV in years. Now we'll see if they can keep this unbelievable pace up every week. If they can, AEW is going to have to put on a hell of a show.
It's so interesting because AEW, everyone's like, oh, AEW's a thing now, so WWE's going to have to step it up. And now it's almost like, hey, NXT's got the jump now on you.
Yeah.
And you have to step it up.
And it's true. That was the first week. Cole was on it, but he wasn't
on it.
headlining.
Yeah, he wasn't. Yeah.
You didn't have Gargano. Ciampa's out, but he's a character you could bring out there. I think they're going to save a lot for that first head-to-head show.
Mhm.
But yeah, this was a hell of a show considering.
We go to MJ from NJ, our buddy MJ. I missed you, buddy, and I missed your Jewel. MJ says, leaving brief feedback, only starting to watch now. Crazy this is happening. One thing I'm interested in is the introduction of all these characters on bigger scale and from how long NXT fans have known them. How that is done over time without dumbing down the product is of particular interest to me. It also indicates that who the audience is and who they are producing this for. Another aspect is how it pushes talent on the main roster who came from NXT and can't wrestle this style. How must the four horsewomen feel about this opening match? They haven't done a thing close to this on the main roster since. It was one thing when it was on the network, but now it's a night after them on USA. Follow that mentality could be awesome for overall WWE. One thing I'd like to see from them do, and maybe they will, is show replays of what happened during the commercial break. We know stuff happens during commercial break, so why not highlight it? And it's different than other brands. Lastly, a power move starting the show with O-E-O-E-O-E-O. He says he misses us.
I miss you too.
We should go visit him.
I am.
Oh, motherfucker. Oh, and that was the last bit of feedback.
That was
it. Thank you, everyone, for your feedback. We always appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Tonight has been very fun.
Yes, it's been a whole day for us.
It's been a whole day for us.
It's been a whole day.
So that was NXT. Thank you. We don't know. Maybe we had some more ears on the show tonight as we're going to have more eyes on the product on NXT.
Yes, definitely. As NXT gets bigger, we'll get bigger.
If you're joining us for the first time, thank you very much for tuning in. If you've been joining us for a while, this is where we're going to talk a little bit more in depth about the Patreon that we announced at the start of the show.
Yes, so we will continue to do a weekly Up Next show reviewing NXT every week. You can get that for free, no problem, no questions asked.
That's never going to change.
That's on us, no matter what. That's on us. You get to enjoy that for free. You get to listen to this for free. However, that doesn't help pay our internet bill. So if you want to help, you can go to patreon.com/upnext. And this is where you can find everything. You can see everything on our Patreon, which is officially up live now. We popped the bubbly for it ourselves. This is a big day for us. You see, we held a party. It all started with a whisper. We said, hey, why don't we throw an event, a takeover tailgate? And then we did it. And then we said, hey, why don't we start a Patreon? Because you guys were asking for it, and now we have. So should we go into maybe talk a little bit about what we're going to be launching?
Because, well, I'd just like to promote as well. We will be on John and Way's Cafe Hangout, where we'll be talking about tonight's NXT as well as our Patreon. But yes, we have launched our Patreon, and we have a few little tiers for it. Yes.
So here at Up Next Podcast, we have some tiers, and we're following the new format of NXT, if you will. Titles, if you will. The first tier, the Cruiserweight Championship. It'll be $205.
Yes, for $2.05, $2.05. You can be a Cruiserweight champion. You can be the upNXT Cruiserweight champion.
This one's just a little nod of the hat to us from you. This one just gets a shout out on our show and a little form of thank you for supporting us. This is just if you want to throw
a little donation, a little thank you. It will get us a coffee.
Yeah, it'll buy us the coffee when we have to watch some more wrestling now. This one's just a little bit. We don't know really what to expect with this at all, but we figure some people don't really want to spend and don't need more shows from us. They're like, cool, we like the one show, that's it. But I do like it if you want to tip your hat and throw us a bone, well, this is how you can do it, and you can be a cruiserweight champion.
And you can also listen to that episode 0.
Yes, we made
$2.
that one for that.
So
yeah.
if you want to listen to that, because
Yeah.
you might be, I don't know if I want to hop on board for
Exactly.
for anything more than that, and you like what you listen to, maybe you will want to upgrade.
Okay.
But that is tier 1.
Upgrading. Let's go to the North American Championship.
This is the work rate tier.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So with this tier, you get extra content. You see, we need your help to create content, and this is what you'll get. You'll get brand new shows from us every week. We're going to create brand new shows, series of shows. One of them is going to be called Was Next.
Yeah.
We're going to go back to when NXT first started, and we'll be doing week-to-week reviews, including some of the first stuff we will be reviewing is the first inaugural NXT Championship, which Seth Rollins is involved in this tournament. Big deal. Big
So
deal.
we're going to be starting actually tomorrow with, or today, as some of you are listening to this, with the June 20th, 2012 edition of
I thought it was
NXT.
June 18th or June 20th. Oh man, you got me
June
confused.
20th.
June 20th, 2012.
This is all on the network for you to watch.
Yeah.
This is where Dusty Rhodes becomes like commissioner, and there's a match between Michael McGillicuddy or Curtis Axel and
Tyson Kidd. Yeah, TJ.
So
Awesome.
we're going back to the first of the Full Sail era of NXT.
We also do a lot of movie reviews here at the BDE, and we're still going to put out movie reviews for free every now and then. Now, we just finished doing the prequels of Star Wars. You can go listen to those for free on postwrestling.com and wherever you get. It's on our upNXT feed. Those are all free. But we're going to continue to do movie reviews, including other ones. Halloween's coming up, so we're going to do a bunch of horror stuff. Again, we'll release some ones for free, and then we will put extra ones onto this tier on the Patreon. We're going to be doing something called, Best Match Ever?
Best Match Ever.
Or things like that. We're going to basically, David loves Gargano versus Almas. Almas versus Gargano and Chill. Well, I want to put to the test other matches that can stand to be called the greatest match ever. So we're going to be going and diving into that weeks to come, months to come. We have so many other ideas that we don't want to tell them all. But
So yeah, we'll be doing for this tier to start with. We'll be doing at least one bonus show a week. Now we do have goals, so depending on how many subscribers we get, we will be adding. So if we get 50 patrons, that will afford us enough to be doing more live video stuff.
Yes,
so
more
we're
of these.
talking live NXT reviews straight after on a Wednesday. We're talking takeover live reviews.
yeah,
That's all something that can happen if we get 50 subscribers. Now, if the unthinkable happens and we get 100 subscribers, we will be upping from one bonus show a week, at least one bonus show a week, to 2 bonus shows a week.
excellent. So that tier, the North American, is $5 a month for these shows. But then we have one more. The main event, the headliner, the NXT World Title.
Yes.
Now, this gets you everything we just mentioned, all that extra stuff, but even more stuff, even more extra content. And we might even send you some stuff in the mail. But this tier costs $25 a month. I don't think anyone will do it. I didn't think anyone would do it. And then before we haven't even finished recording this show, a guy named Eric, a lovely, lovely man, has already signed up for this tier. So I love you, Eric.
We hadn't even announced the Patreon, but
We haven't even announced it yet.
I think he put 2 and 2 together and thought, maybe it will be called patreon.com/upnext. And by God, it was. And he has become the first upNXT world champion.
Yes.
So congratulations, Eric. This is putting the power in your hands.
Yes.
You are the commissioner. You are William Regal.
We're going to do something where you can pick something for us to watch, review. It could be a movie, it could be wrestling, it could be an event, anything at all. You can even maybe join in, and if you want to help us tell us why you picked it and chat a little bit about it. But we're super excited. Again, patreon.com/upnext. Go watch. We made a video describing everything. You can read everything, all the tiers. If you want to help us create content, then this is how you can do it. We thank everyone who's supported us since we started this. I've been doing What's Next for years, and then I decided to give it another shot, and I'm so proud of what me and David have created here. So honestly, thank you to anyone. And hey, I know some people like podcasts because they're free, and I'm totally cool with that. So if you don't want to help us with the Patreon, the least you could do is go follow the new upNXT Twitter account at upNXT Podcast on Twitter and give us a shout. Tell us where you are, how you listen to us, wherever. We love all you listeners. We love all the support because you guys have been Awesome. We're doing this because you asked us for this.
Absolutely.
And we can't appreciate you guys enough. We can't express enough. So honestly, thank you. So NXT on USA means big things for NXT. It means big things for upNXT.
Absolutely.
So we're looking forward to the future. We are upNXT. Yes. So is there anything else we need to say, or can we wrap this baby up?
I think we'll wrap this baby up. I'll say it one more time. Patreon.com/upNXT. There is so much more on there than we've spoken about. Give it a read before you give us your money, but check it out. And thank you again. Thank you for tuning in, to everyone on the YouTube channel. Thank you for all your support. We've been having awesome tweets from people realizing that this could be big stuff for us as well.
Yes, so
thank you. Thank you for Uncle D from the Cho for his Sega Genesis.
Dude, send us a Sega Genesis in the mail.
It's insane.
If you don't want to, if you don't want to sign up for Patreon, but you want to send us shit, I'm cool with that too. DM me, cool. You can follow myself, my private account, Twitter and Instagram. I am at the Brady,
and I am at Davie Portman.
So you will find us every Wednesday night, early Thursday mornings, depending when we do this show. But we will continue to do upNXT strictly for you. We are your NXT friends. So thank you for listening. Take care. Goodbye and be safe.
Ahoy!
Oh man.
Woo! That was good.
What a day.